Oh, it's been a whacked week.
One of the craziest things is that Ukraine's Vladimir Zelensky, their prime minister, who's been all over the news since the war started against Russia, appointed Liberal MP Chrystia Freeland as an economic advisor. Zelensky announced Freeland's appointment on X, describing the former deputy prime minister and current MP as a highly skilled in these matters and has extensive experience in attracting investment and implementing economic transformations. I read that and I'm like, this screams corruption to me, because if you look at when she was in charge of Canada, like the
worst finance minister ever in Canada.
Yeah, and everything else has gone
south.
At
least in my lifetime.
And they keep giving money to Ukraine. I think she's actually, her grandparents were Ukrainian.
I really struggle with this conversation, eh?
Why?
Because I would agree that it's a bit of a black hole, and I'd be curious to know. But I find it so strange how quickly it turns into like it's weird how people are anti-Ukraine because of this.
Oh, I'm not anti-Ukraine. Well, I mean, I just don't trust Zelensky appointing this lady. Like, if you have any brain, any sort of brain,
it doesn't look great. No, I would agree.
That's not gonna
it doesn't bode well.
No,
it doesn't bring confidence to our democracy in Canada. No, it does not.
No, exactly.
No, and she should have quit ahead of time. Like, she knew that obviously for weeks or maybe even a month or two, she was taking the posting. Why would she? Now she's saying, I'll step down in a couple of weeks. It looks bad.
But if he would have appointed like some Canadian businessman that has tons of experience growing big businesses, that would make sense.
No, but she's bringing a grease gun along for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, and he knows that. So it makes me not trust that guy either at all.
He's a character.
I think people need it on the side of like our anti-Ukraine. Like, we got to separate the government and the people.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Same with Russia. I'm not anti-Russian people. Like it's Vladimir and his cronies. They're the screwballs. Like, Russians are just Russians. They don't want their kids to be dying on the war.
I guess similar to every war though, and this is a good example of that, because this is like full imperialism, or at least that's how it looks to me, right? With like Russia going into Ukraine and bombing and just literally just. Shoot.
Kind of like Trump just did with Venezuela.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But I guess back to the Ukraine thing, like, why are the Russian soldiers agreeing to go fight there? And are there people that are defecting, or are the Russian people totally in favor of going into Ukraine?
No, they're being told to go. And the same with the Ukrainians. Like, I was talking to a buddy here that goes to our church. He's been here for the last 4 years. He can't go back home because there's vans driving around Ukraine. And as soon as they see an able-bodied man, you're getting like hijacked, like Maduro did, and you're going to the front lines. Like, you don't have a choice.
Which kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just saying that in Russia as well. Like,
I guess one country's trying to defend itself, literally from getting annihilated by. It's not a fair comparison in the sense of, like, I'm wondering, why are the Russian soldiers agreeing to this? And when you say, hey, separate the country from the people, or the government from the people.
Yeah, I mean, you also know, I think when you're inside of a country and you're fighting, the messaging that they're getting probably isn't the same messaging we're getting. I mean, it's just the same thing with the United States and all the wars they've been into. Like, it's always done under this righteous umbrella, except for Trump seems to be lying the least about it and just says, hey, I want their oil when it comes to Venezuela.
Awful. Yeah,
but everyone else, it's
what's the leader of Venezuela? The corrupt guy that got yanked?
Nicolas Maduro. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sleeping in his bed. All of a sudden, a bunch of guys run in and pick him up.
How would that happen? Would he not have had that much protection?
Well, I think they popped a few people coming in there.
Yeah. Have they talked about that publicly or not?
That they killed people? I think they're talking about some firefights because some guys got injured.
Okay.
But they also said they built the exact replica of his compound, and so they probably like trained exactly what they'd be running into. And there's definitely probably some inside watching videos about how they were
paying some Venezuelans off.
That's right. Yeah.
To not be there to guard them, right?
Yeah.
These people are pretty corrupt.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm wondering what the actual reasons for this are, because it seems like it's not just the drugs coming into the States. Like, I don't buy it.
Was that his bent? No.
Well, initially, yeah, that's like they were getting all these drug boats off the coast of Venezuela, and but I think there's got to be more reasons than that. Like, it just doesn't.
I read a very interesting article. It's in the National Post, and I forget the guy who wrote it. Maybe Aaron Spector. I forget. Anyways, you can find it pretty quickly. It's an opinion piece, and it talks a lot about how he went in, and we'll agree or disagree on whether that's even okay. A lot of people would say it's probably not that wise.
Yeah.
Then he said, the guy who wrote the article talked about all the other times that the U.S. has went into foreign countries and how it ended. and it never, ever ends well. There wasn't an example of like, hey, we went in, we cleaned up the mess, we set up a healthy government, Afghanistan, Vietnam, those were the
Iraq.
first two, Iraq. Like, nobody's agreeing that Saddam Hussein was a horrible person and needed to be executed. Like, I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Just a horrible leader. This guy, too. This guy sounds like a horrible person.
But it's not. It's also at the cost of the Americans in this case, like taxpayer dollars, like lives, like tons of young punks, guys died in these wars. It's not a small cost. You need, like, to help these countries out. Like, it's.
No, but I do feel like there's some sense of human nature that probably feels like people are looking for purpose. And even like a military, it's like, hey, this is our cause. This is what we're fighting for. Obviously, in Vietnam, it became to the point where it was toxic. And it was like, hey, they were just literally sending people to die there.
Yeah.
They're getting way before our time. But read a few books and watched a few movies on it. But
it's also the guys that are going that are not making the decisions, right, about where they're going or not. There's a bunch of guys on top that are taking orders.
Yeah, anybody that's potentially going to get shot is not the one that actually made the decision. That is fair.
Yeah,
that's pretty typical in life, actually.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about all levels of.
In business too. It's always the people on the ground that are doing the dirty work.
Have to face the carnage. I mean, I'm heavily invested in oil and gas stocks, and so it was an interesting weekend reading about it, just waiting for see what the oil price would do.
Did it do anything?
Oh, it dropped, but I mean, not like 5-10%. Like, the oil price actually hardly even dropped at all, but it was more the stocks that dropped, and probably we're due for a bit of a.
So you said something in a recent podcast that one thing that might be the saving grace of Canada is that the fact we have so many resources.
Yeah, well, we don't have as many resources as Venezuela.
Okay. No?
I think they have more heavy crude than we do.
Okay.
I think. I could be. They have a lot.
A lot of our north has never even been explored, has it?
No, that's a fair comment too. Yeah.
I'm just wondering what that would look like if we actually got like a proper government and there'd be.
We'll be very rich. We're very rich. We'll do fine. That's why I'm not even that worried about the debt we have, because if we actually had a government that would get away from red tape and had a bit of courage, and eventually people will struggle enough here that they'll wake up and they'll vote in governments that are. I think. I think so. I think people will get sick of the BS, but we'll have to go through some very hard times first. I think we'll have a revolution first.
Nice. You can be part of it?
Yeah. Like defending freedom, right?
You see, I seen you put a link in here. Hey guys, if you enjoy that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, putting the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.